Hello and welcome back to another video here on the channel. In today's video we are taking a look at 21W13A, and in today's video you will see right behind me we have a brand new mob. Now this mob here, as you will probably already know, this is the goat, and the goat is awesome. I love it. Now this has already been added to the Bedrock edition of the game in one of the betas over there, and it doesn't have all the functionality that Bedrock has just yet. I don't believe we have the horn, which I believe was actually added to the Bedrock edition. As you can see, there's no horn or things like that, so the goat doesn't drop anything just yet. But they have a high jump, and we did just see one a minute ago, but what I'm going to do, I'm going to spawn a whole bunch in, and hopefully we'll see that they'll do some nice high jumping for us so they can easily traverse around the mountain. Now while we wait and hopefully capture one of that in the background, goats can be bred using wheat. As we can see, we can breed up a whole bunch of baby goats, and if we take a look in the middle just here, there we go, we have some baby goats, and once again you can right click on them with the wheat to speed up their growth stage. That is all very normal, and I love the goats. Look at how small those goats are, and hopefully we're going to see some jumping nice and high very soon. Now what I've done is I've put a goat in this hole, which seems a little bit mean, but we can leave him there just for the moment and see if he manages to jump his way out in just a moment. But we also have some changes to powdered snow. Now powdered snow was added a little while back. It can spawn in the mountains, and once we get the proper mountain biomes added, which have not yet been added, we will hopefully see that they will spawn in more naturally there as well. I also forgot to mention, oh look, there's a goat. He seems to be a little bit stuck over here. Let's see if we can lure him out this way. He is freezing. Goats aren't immune, but I believe they can walk on the top of the stuff, so let's place down a bridge just like this, and as we'll see, oh, he is sinking through. I wonder if goats should be able to walk on top. I don't know. We'll have to leave some feedback on the feedback tracker. So over here I have a pile of powdered snow, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to jump into survival. I'm going to catch myself on fire just so I keep the burning effect. There we go. And then you'll see when I walk into the powdered snow, it removes the powdered snow block because we sort of melted the powdered snow. That's the idea behind it. Now obviously there's no other sort of functionality added to this. There's been some changes in the time you'll get the freezing effect, and the changes to the way the freezing effect will apply to other mobs. As you can see, we're in here, we're getting cold, and we have this effect apply as normal. Now there have been some changes to the vertical speed at which you fall through this and can go up and down it. I guess that applies if we've got some leather boots, so let's grab a pair of them on. Now with a pair of very swanky leather boots, you'll see we can go up and down a little bit easier, and definitely when going upwards, there is definitely much quicker than it was before. So actually in a way, this could even be used as a little bit of a ladder. You know what, I feel bad. I'm going to help this go out. I must admit they are very silly for walking into the powdered snow. Surely they should know that he's going to do some damage. And yes, this goat has got out of here. Hopefully you'll be able to see some of them in action. Whoa, there we go. They can jump really, really high. That's looking about 4 or 5 blocks. I'm not measuring that, but off the top of my head, that looks about 4 or 5 blocks. That is a very, very high jump. Now you might be wondering, Rover, I know what most of those items in your inventory are. However, do you know what this block here is? Well, this is the light block. Now this is only obtainable by running the following command. Give your player name and then light. That is the name of the block, and this is a block that can only be used in creative mode. Now I've set the time to midnight, and I'm actually going to effect clear myself just to get rid of all the night vision effects I've got onwards, and we're going to place down this block. As you will see, it places down like a normal block. We can't interact with it. We can walk straight through it. When holding the light block, we can punch it out. Otherwise, it sort of exists, but you can't play around with it. Now, this has clearly been added for map makers and people doing that sort of thing. So this will be very fascinating to see how they use that. They don't actually have to hide light sources. They can just use this instead. However, as we have already seen placing a block inside of it, and one thing that did come to mind is let's get some redstone dust and possibly some water and see how it interacts with these blocks. Now redstone dust also removes it. Now let's place down some water, and I'm going to place a light block inside of it, and that removes the water. Maybe it should be some funkiness, but actually we can waterlog it. So if we do it the other way around and place down the water and then place the light block inside of it, or the other way around, sorry, we'll place the light block down and then place the water inside of it. It works that way around. So actually lighting up underwater becomes that little bit easier for map makers. Now I forgot to mention a little bit earlier on, there are some other features for the light block. If we are to right click on it, it will cycle through the different light levels. As you can see, we can now customize every single light level available. As we can see, we can go all the way up to level 15, and then it will go back to 0, 1, 2, etc, etc. There's a little indication just there, but this will be brilliant once again for the map makers being able to customize exactly what light level they want around. And welcome back to the Deep Dark. We've spent quite a few snapshot videos down here before, but now we're actually going a little bit higher. We're actually going to go between 0 and Y16. Now before that, Deep Slate would completely be out and about and we wouldn't see it at all. Now what we'll see is between levels Y0 and Y16, we might find pockets of Deep Slate just here. As you can see, this is well above the layer that stone starts spawning in, and that's the average layer, but we'll now find pockets of this black stone. We will now find pockets of the Deep Slate, in these stone walls, and this is actually integrated with the Bedrock edition of the game, which is just in a beta that came out today, also implemented this feature. Now, there have also been some changes once again to the cave generation in this version of the game. It is more likely that you're going to find the epic mega cheese caves a little bit more common in your Minecraft world. There have also been some changes to carvers, meaning they're not so flat, they're a little bit more tricky to traverse. But I tell you what, I am loving the cave generation. I mean, just flying around here is utterly, utterly incredible. Now, the ever so loved Wandering Trader... Okay, no, that's a complete lie. The Wandering Trader has had a couple of new trays added to it, and this is the Moss Block, Rooted Dirt, and Pointed Dripstone. Now these, like all the other Wandering Trader trades, will randomly spawn in, and you'll get different selection of trades. Pointed Dripstone will sell at 2 for 1 emerald, Rooted Dirt will sell 2 for 1 emerald, and the same goes for Moss with 2 for 1 emerald. Once again, this snapshot has seen a whole bunch of tweaks and changes to the cave generation system, and if you're interested in what's involved with all of that, then there is a link to the changelog down below. There have also been a whole bunch of bug fixes. Once again, you can view all of them on the changelog down below, but that is all for today's video. That's a whole bunch of goats, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye!